Good day and welcome. You're watching Sint Maarten NEWSDESK, where we bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond. With your anchor crew, Alston Lawrence, Glenda York, Tiziana Hart, and Mizzy with the Sunshine Report. This broadcast is brought to you by TV15 and proudly produced by Great Bay Media Studios in Philipsburg, Sint Maarten. And now, let's jump straight into today's top headlines.
MP Peterson and brother sentenced to community service. Member of Parliament Rayon Peterson and his brother Keenan have each received 70 hours of community service following a physical altercation in April 2025. The court of first instance delivered its ruling on Wednesday. The defense argued that two confrontations occurred minutes apart and that Peterson was struck and injured during the first incident. It claimed his response during the second confrontation resulted from an intense emotional state caused by the earlier attack. However, the court ultimately convicted both brothers and imposed community service sentences. Despite earlier public reports describing Peterson as a gun-wielding MP, the defense says no allegation that he displayed, used, or threatened anyone with a firearm formed part of the prosecution's case. The sentence does not appear to trigger constitutional provisions for the automatic suspension or removal of the Member of Parliament, which is usually tied to specific convictions carrying imprisonment. Peterson therefore remains a sitting MP. He has 14 days for the ruling to file an appeal. No decision on an appeal has been announced. ECYS and SMDF advance slavery memorial action agenda. The Education and Culture Ministry has signed an agreement with the Sint Maarten Development Fund to implement 9 cultural and heritage projects connected to Sint Maarten's slavery past. The program, named Future Roots, will be managed by SMDF in cooperation with the Department of Culture. Projects include professional development for staff at the museum and CIMARC, the creation of a local history curriculum, and the remapping and restoration of monuments. A heritage scholarship program will also help train local heritage inspectors and managers. Education and Culture Minister, the Honorable Melissa Gum, says Sint Maarten received praise for submitting its project plan early and addressing a broad range of cultural priorities. The first 2 funding tranches from the Netherlands, totaling $1.9 million has been transferred to SMDF. The fund will now develop project timelines and their deliverables while consulting institutions including the Philipsburg Cultural Center, CIMARC, the Museum, and Department of Education. SMDF says the goal is to transform the ministry's vision into tangible projects that preserve history and benefit the community. School busing calls for safety as new school year begins. The school busing section is urging drivers, students, parents, and motorists to prioritize safety throughout the new academic year. Motorists should reduce speed, avoid distractions, and remain alert around schools, pedestrian crossings, and areas where children enter or exit buses. Students are being reminded to wait safely away from the roadway and avoid using mobile phones or headphones while boarding or leaving a bus. While traveling, students must remain seated, face forward, and avoid behavior that could distract the driver. School bus operators must obey traffic laws, remain focused, and refrain from using electronic devices or headsets while transporting students. Drivers are also prohibited from carrying unauthorized passengers when students are on board. Violations that endanger children or other road users could result in criminal or administrative action. Parents and guardians are encouraged to regularly review bus safety practices with their children. Officials say preventing accidents is a shared responsibility among drivers, students, families, schools, motorists, and authorities. The goal is to ensure every child arrives at school and returns home safely.
Hello, my people. My name is Glenna York of Sit, Sip and Chat and Moms in Paradise podcast. You can find us on TV15 Sint Maarten, TVC St. Kitts, and on YouTube. Reporting from Great Bay Media Studios in Sint Maarten, your NEWSDESK feature story is coming up. But first, here is Mizzy with the Sunshine Report.
Hey there, it's Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, Sint Maarten, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us.
Youth, your voice matters. If you're between 13 and 24, this is your chance to shape the future.
Take the Department of Youth's quick 5 to 7 minute survey and share what matters most to you. Your feedback will help guide programs and policies that make a real difference.
Scan the QR code and take the survey today. Your voice, our future. Together for Sint Maarten.
Touched by breast cancer.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every love, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Welcome to the BTP Cybercrime Awareness video. What is cybercrime? Cybercrime is any illegal activity that uses computers, smartphones, or the internet to to harm people, steal information, or cause damage. Now, how to protect yourself. First, use strong passwords. Also, keep your devices and antivirus software updated. Enable two-factor authentication. Research before sending money. Use trusted platforms. Log out of accounts on shared/public devices. Scan the QR code for more tips. Stay alert. Stay secure.
Bite the Bullet podcast expands to Dutch television. Caribbean-rooted Bite the Bullet podcast has expanded its reach with a new weekly television broadcast on RTV7 in the Netherlands. Hosted by Jody Morgan and Haiti Davis, the program explores Caribbean culture, identity, relationships, entrepreneurship, migration, and life within the diaspora. Morgan was born in Saba, while Davis was born and raised in Sint Maarten. Working with producer Kristen Sorton, the team developed Bite the Bullet. From informal living room conversations into a professional studio production and creative platform. The podcast says its mission is to build bridges between the islands and the diaspora while allowing Caribbean people to tell their stories in their own voices. Its move to RTV7 increases visibility for smaller Caribbean islands while introducing their experiences and perspectives to wider Dutch television audiences. The station serves Caribbean and Surinamese communities across the Netherlands. Bite the Bullet airs Saturdays. Bite the Bullet airs Saturdays at 5 p.m. Central European Time on RTV7 through Ziggo Channel 75, KPN Channel 93, and Odido Channel 515. USM advances climate storytelling and opens ESL applications. The University of St. Maarten is supporting new opportunities in climate storytelling and English language education. A 7-member delegation from the University of Pennsylvania is visiting St. Maarten through August 23rd for a creative research project focused on climate and social justice. The team is engaging residents, artists, and other stakeholders to develop animated videos shaped by the island's culture and lived experiences. One production will target Dutch and French policymakers, highlighting climate challenges from St. Maarten's perspective. Another proposed video titled Poems of Place will draw inspiration from Caleb Dross's Ualichi Land of Oma. USM says the initiative raises an important question about who gets to tell the climate stories of small island communities. Meanwhile, applications are open for USM's English as a Second Language program, ESL. Classes begin September 21st and will help students develop their speaking, listening, reading, writing, grammar, and vocabulary. Small classes will provide individual attention and practical opportunities to communicate in English. New students will complete placement testing to determine the appropriate starting level. USM is also encouraging employers to support workers who could benefit from stronger English skills. The application deadline is September 11th, with placement tests scheduled for September 9th, 10th, and 17th. Applicants can contact USM through esl@usm.sx or admission@usm.sx. St. Maarten drag racers prepare for Grenada. King Ocean Services and the Sint Maarten Drag Racing Association are preparing to transport 11 racing vehicles to Grenada. The local delegation will participate in the King Ocean International Drags, scheduled for September 26th and 27th. Ahead of the regional competition, the association will host Test and Tune 4 this Sunday, August 23rd, along Swaliga Road. The session will run from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., allowing drivers and racing teams to test their vehicles, evaluate performance, and make final mechanical adjustments. The event will also raise funds to assist the participating drag racers with expenses connected to the Grenada trip. Food and drinks will be available for purchase, and raffle winners will be announced during the day. Organizers are inviting motorsport enthusiasts and the wider community to attend and support the teams. The 11-vehicle delegation will give several local racers an opportunity to compete while showcasing St. Maarten's automotive talent on the regional scale.
Hey there, I'm Venicia Herbert, and welcome to the Community Billboard. This is your space where the people, places, and heartbeat of the St. Maarten community get to speak for themselves. Whether it's an event worth showing up for, a business worth knowing about, or a cause worth caring about, you'll hear it right here. So, Settle in, because what's coming up next just might be exactly what you've been looking for. Welcome to the NEWSDESK Community Billboard.
Heavy sweating, weakness, dizziness, headache, nausea. A fast heartbeat may be signs of heat exhaustion. Move the person to a cool or shaded area, loosen clothing, and help them cool down. Confusion, fainting, seizures, or very hot skin may signal heat stroke. Call emergency services immediately. Know the warning signs and act quickly. A message from Collective Prevention Services within the Ministry of Public Health, Social Development, and Labor.
To be part of our mailing list, send an email to newsdesksxm@gmail.com.
Your voice matters. If you're between 13 and 24, this is your chance to shape the future.
Take the Department of Youth's quick 5 to 7 minute survey and share what matters most to you. Your feedback will help guide programs and policies that make a real difference.
Scan the QR code and take the survey today. Your voice, our future. Together for Sint Maarten.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every life, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them it's there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Welcome to the BTP Cybercrime Awareness video. What is cybercrime? Cybercrime is any illegal activity that uses computers, smartphones, or the internet to harm people, steal information, or cause damage. Now, how to protect yourself. First, use strong passwords. Also, keep your devices and antivirus software updated. Enable two-factor authentication. Research before sending money. Use trusted platforms. Log out of accounts on shared/public devices. Scan the QR code for more tips. Stay alert. Stay secure.
Before we wrap up, we take a moment each day to check in with our neighbors across the region. There's always a story worth paying attention to. Here's today's regional headline.
$1.1 million pilot launch for historic homes. Owners of historic residences in Bonaire, St. Eustatius, and Saba will soon be able to apply for financial assistance to restore their properties. A new pilot subsidy program opens September 1st with a one-time budget of $1.1 million. The initiative targets privately owned residential monuments requiring major maintenance or restoration. Eligible preservation costs must exceed $25,000, with grants of up to $100,000 available per property. Buildings do not require formal protected status to qualify. Structures older than 50 years may also be eligible if they are considered important because of their beauty, artistic value, or historical significance. Officials say monument owners in the Caribbean Netherlands face high maintenance expenses due to limited specialist materials and increased transportation costs. The program will also help the Dutch Education and Culture Ministry gain practical experience for future heritage management policies in the region. Applications will be accepted only between September 1st and 30th through the Cultural Heritage Agency of the Netherlands.
Welcome back. Each day we take a moment to go beyond the headlines and look deeper into the issues, people, and conversations shaping life here on Sint Maarten. Welcome to today's NEWSDESK feature.
One of St. Martin's oldest labor organizations is heading toward what could be a defining moment. WIFOL President Theophilus Thompson says the union is being restructured and that a Congress is planned for October, where members are expected to decide who will lead the organization going forward. The announcement comes after months of public allegations from WIFOL co-founder Renee Richardson and other members who have questioned whether the union has held the meetings, board elections, and financial reporting required under its own rules. Thompson rejects those claims. Speaking to the Daily Herald, he described allegations surrounding his leadership and the use of rental income from the WIFOL building as false, saying the organization has changed considerably since Hurricane Irma and is now focused on rebuilding. The dispute became public earlier this summer when a group of WIFOL members accused Thompson of remaining president without a valid electoral mandate and said the union had gone more than 10 years without a Congress. In July, members announced that they intended to move forward with convening a Congress themselves, while an August notice from WIFOL invited expressions of interest from persons interested in becoming the union's next leader. That makes Thompson's announcement of an October Congress particularly significant. He says approximately 50 workers are now receiving weekly training at the WIFOL building, including instruction from legal professionals and persons involved in trade unionism and international labor rights. The goal, according to Thompson, is to prepare a new generation of workers for leadership roles. He argues that WIFOL should not be viewed as an organization centered around one person and says the Congress will determine the executive leadership positions of President, General Secretary, and Treasurer. Thompson also says he is willing to remain president if workers give him another mandate. He maintains that he has repeatedly been elected since first becoming president in 1983, with the last election taking place in 2014. An official St. Maarten government gazette from that year lists Thompson as WIFOL's representative on the Social Economic Council for the 2014 to 2017 term, confirming his formal role in the labor movement at that time. Although that record does not by itself establish when WIFOL's internal internal elections were held. Thompson says Hurricane Irma disrupted the organization significantly. Companies closed, workers lost jobs, membership contributions declined, and the WIFOL building itself had to be rebuilt. He says rental income from the building is therefore being used to help compensate for lost membership revenue and maintain the facility. According to Thompson, WIFOL currently represents about 1,500 members and remains active in defending workers. He says the union has handled approximately 4 court cases against employers this year alone, including a recent case in which security workers reportedly received a favorable ruling requiring compensation dating back to their dismissal. But the broader issue now goes beyond Thompson and Richardson. It is about governance inside institutions that are themselves responsible for demanding accountability from employers and government. Trade unions derive their strength not only from advocacy but from the confidence of their membership. That means elections, financial transparency, functioning boards, and clear internal procedures matter. At the same time, unions across the Caribbean are facing a changing labor market shaped by automation, new industries, temporary contracts, migration, and declining participation in traditional organized labor. For WIFOL, October could therefore become more than an election. It could be an opportunity to demonstrate whether one of Sint Maarten's longest-standing labor organizations can modernize its leadership, rebuild confidence among members, and prepare a new generation to defend workers in a changing economy. Thompson says the organization is restructuring. His critics say accountability is overdue. The Congress now expected in October may be where those two narratives finally meet. And ultimately, it will be WIFOL's members who decide what comes next.
That's all the time we have for today's edition of Sint Maarten News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV15 and across all our social media platforms. From all of us here at News Desk, we wish you a fantastic week ahead. Until next time, stay friendly, Sint Maarten.